We are here at Fortune Scale Up Summit, and I'm with Erik Qualman, who's the former head of marketing for Travelzoo and is the author of the book Socialnomics. It's a book about how social media is transforming our lives and our business, which has been a #1 Amazon bestseller in the United States and 8 other countries. His latest book, What Happens in Vegas Stays on YouTube, was nominated for the Pulitzer Prize for 2015. So, Erik, great to have you here at the summit. You said something simple but powerful, mobile only. Talk about that.
Yeah, no, it's great to be here, Verne. It's a great conference. And when we talk about mobile only, I talk about mobile first, but then I say, really, you got to start thinking mobile only, because that's the world that we're going to move into. By 2018, 2/3 of all consumption will be video on our mobile device. And so as companies, we need to start closing those laptops, those MacBooks, when we're looking at our websites and understand, design everything with mobile first in mind.
And what is that for? So what's the implications of that?
The big implication, too, is more strategic than you think, because it gets us to our 80-20 rule, that 20% of what we do drives 80% of our business. And so you have to make that hard decision. Where before, since the web has unlimited inventory, you just put everything up there. You wouldn't have that tough conversation internally saying, hey, you product line aren't going to get any exposure on the website because it's not driving business. So when you design then drives business. So it's very interesting to look at that. It actually has very strategic ramifications.
Yeah, because you can pile everything on the website, but you've got to decide what's on mobile. But let's switch gears. Privacy is dead. So there is all this stuff on the web. We're seeing Trump literally use it to his advantage, and it seems like the more he's attacked, the more outrageous, the more it plays in his favor. Is that what all of us should do, or what are the rules around this?
I think the rules when it comes to just privacy is dead is understanding a major shift, that reputation used to be what you stood for in public perception, and then integrity is what you stood for behind closed doors.
Okay.
And those used to be two different words. Doesn't make sense because they're two different things, but in a privacy-free world is that they're one and the same. And so it's important for us to know that we have warts, to embrace them, let the world know about them. If you make a mistake, be the first one to point the finger at yourself before everyone else does. And really it's just look at it, here's my flaw, here's what I'm going to do to fix it, and here's my follow-up. So you think about those 3 F's. Here's my flaw, here's how I'm going to fix it, and here I'm following up and actually doing it.
So it seems like the best defense is offense. So you're saying I should, even if it's not my personality, because you get a sense it's Trump's personality, the Kardashians' personality, but are you suggesting that even if you're shy and an introvert, that in this world you need to kind of put it out there more? Well,
I think in this world you got to play to your strengths, and so if that's not your strength, that's going to be a lose-lose. So go and take it to the edge as much as you can of what your strength is. But what I'm saying is that when it comes to your digital stamp, so that's what everyone sees about you, that's what you post about yourself, and that's what others post about you or your company, is understand that getting off the grid is never really a good idea, because then it just is all about what other people are posting about you. You have no influence or control over that per se. So you want to make sure that you at least have some kind of influence and control over what your reputation is online, because your online reputation is now your reputation.
And I liked your idea that get it into your routine. You said something like, look, if you could just do 2 things, if you could spend 3 minutes a day. Talk a little bit about what you should do in 3 minutes.
Yeah, so I talked about posting it forward. So posting it forward is shining the light on others digitally. And so it doesn't replace the coffees and the lunches, it augments it when time and distance are an issue. So it's really shining the light on your customer, your employee, in a positive way. It makes them feel better, it also makes you feel better, and ironically enough, the science also shows that people that see it actually feel better. So it's only a win-win. It's really about networking before you need your network. And so the easiest way to do that, take 3 minutes a day, minimum. Sometimes that turns into an hour, but just post it forward as much as you can.
Now, you know, I find it interesting. We have a client that with all of these drones, they've actually created an anti-drone technology that allows you to kind of put a shield to maintain your privacy. Why don't we have this technology that would allow me to erase my digital stamp?
Because the shift is so massive. We're used to privacy, and all of a sudden someone just came in and said, no more privacy, and to adjust to that, that's why we're having laws trying to be made, but the genie's out of the bottle. Trying to put it back in is going to be difficult. So that's why I always stress, look, privacy's dead, learn how to manage it, but there's other companies that are popping up because people still want their privacy back. So that's why those companies are springing up.
Yeah, good. So, so we've talked about digital leadership and what the leader needs to be doing. But do you turn all your employees loose? Do you let them say anything they want to? Do you have to regulate it? What do you do about that?
Yeah, so a lot of the reasons I wrote What Happens in Vegas Stays on YouTube was to enable people to understand, produce your best, then protect it. But as companies, what did we immediately do? And you could look at it 5 years ago, it goes into that protection mode. And so if you look at ESPN, they said, hey, Mr. News Anchor, Mrs. News Anchor, don't post about sports on Twitter. Then they quickly reversed that decision, understanding, wait, that's the best thing they can do for our brand. So now what we're seeing more and more when I go into companies is, okay, can you help train all of our employees? Because if we have 5,000 employees, those are 5,000 media beacons that have 300 friends each that can really get the word out there for us. So the complete inverse is now happening, and we knew it would. That's what we talked about in the book Socialnomics, is that in time people will realize, wait, this is the biggest asset that we have, that they can tell the story for us.
And if an employee makes a mistake, like at the Red Cross that you shared, share that story real quick and how it turned into a positive.
Yeah, so they allowed everyone at the Red Cross to use the Twitter account, and this young lady accidentally thought it was going to her personal account and posted basically she was getting a 4-pack of beer and having a good time. Yeah. And then since everyone does have access to it, someone 4 minutes later at the Red Cross posted, don't worry, we've confiscated the keys, we're not drinking, everything's fine here at the Red Cross. And so they had the highest amount of donations the week that happened because people thought it was funny. Mashable, Huffington Post all picked it up. The beer company that was mentioned in the tweet said, hey, instead of drinking a pint of our beer, why don't you donate a pint of blood or donate some money to the Red Cross? So again, that's kind of all about being flawsome. It's about through our flaws, warts and all, that people love us as companies and love us as people if we take the time to say, hey, look, we made a mistake, but here's what we're going to do to fix it.
Erik, thank you so much. It's a critical topic, I think, during this year and I think for the rest of the century. Thank you for being here.
No, thanks for having me. It was an honor.